Summertime is an awesome time of year to go bass fishing on any river system, including the one right here behind me, the beautiful Mississippi River at La Crosse, Wisconsin. What's up, guys? I'm Cade Laufenberg here once again on behalf of Mystery Tackle Box. Today we've got a smorgasbord of activity for you. I've got a whole bunch of different baits I'm testing out from the box, and yeah, it's wide open. The Mississippi River's super high, but there's a ton of different things going on right now. I can catch fish on just about anything I throw in the water, and it's really just a great time to be out here. I'm gonna walk you through some of the basics, what I'm looking for. Under these conditions, you know, the water's peaked, it's at flood stage right now, and it's starting to come down. So that's got these fish starting to work back out of some of the far back places, getting back onto the edges. Hard edges like riprap, like you see here behind me, are playing a big role. Vegetation, clean water is a big key. So stay tuned. You're going to learn a lot of things about the baits from this box, how you can utilize them on river systems like the Mississippi River, and catch big bass, smallmouth and largemouth. They're both coming at you today, so stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. So here we've got the 4.5-inch larva from fanaticbaits.com. It's a real interesting soft plastic bait with a whole bunch of ribs on it. Those are going to move a lot of water, but this thing basically looks like a larva to an insect that, you know, we've got tons of insects here in the Mississippi River Valley. Dragonflies, mayflies, damselflies, every kind of horsefly you can imagine biting on your ankles. And those larvae start out in the water. So bluegills, bass, every fish that swims is going to eat insect larvae at some time in their life. And this is just meant to look like one of those larvae that they're used to eating. Now this purple color is really going to stand out in the dirtier water here on the Mississippi. And I'm going to rig this up on a Texas rig. 3/8 ounce, and I've got a Gamakatsu Aaron Martin Finesse heavy cover hook. It's one of my favorite hooks on the market. Absolutely sticks them in the brain. I'm just going to flip that thing around riprap banks. I'm expecting to see a little mayfly hatch going on today, and I'm hoping if I get this thing around them, they're going to chew it. So flip that thing around your hard targets, wood, riprap, you know, isolated clumps of vegetation, and it's just something totally different that the fish haven't seen. And it's going to give you that competitive edge that you need to beat the guy that's fishing next door to you, throwing the standard sweet beaver, other soft plastics that those fish have become so conditioned to seeing. Think outside the box. Throw yourself a 4.5-inch larva from Fanatic Baits. So here we've got the Lucky John Pro Series Hammerstick. It's a 3.5-inch bait in Wakasagi color. It's basically a real natural bait fish looking color. And I'm rigging that up Rollin' Runner from Blakemore Lures. It's basically just your classic underspin type bait, a bait that we've seen pros like Casey Ashley utilize to win major tournaments like the Bassmaster Classic, for example, just to name one of those little club tournaments. And we put the hammerstick on there, and that's going to look like, you know, some real small little schooling bait fish that we've got here. A big player this time of year is emerald shiners. On the Mississippi River, we've got a healthy population of those, and they're really key for smallmouth. Those smallmouth don't have a lot of forage to feed on after they come off the beds. They've got crayfish, emerald shiners, and young of the year shad, which are only about like that big, 1.5 inches at the most. So you really have to downsize if you want to get on those larger smallmouth. I'm going to throw this thing around wing dams, sand points, little clam beds, basically any type of current break on the main channel and on back channels with that heavier current flow that those fish are looking for. And you'll know it when you're in the right area. You'll throw up there with this bait, and you're going to see the surface just erupt with little minnows. And when you see those little minnows, you know you're onto something. That's what you're looking for. If you're not seeing minnows, you got to keep moving, pick up the trolling motor, and hop on over to the next one. But I'm going to hop and run around, run and gun sand points until I start finding actively feeding smallmouth. And this bait, along with the Booyah Prank, are going to be two really good baits to catch those big smallmouth that are really elusive and hard to catch at this time of year. So check it out, the Hammerstick on the Rollin' Runner. It's going to put a lot of bass in the boat this summer. This here is the Big O's Game Changer Lures Eliminator. You'll see where it gets its name. It's basically an eel-shaped, grub-like lure. Once that bait's extended, it's nearly 6 inches long. So I'm going to show you 3 ways that I'm going to rig this bait to catch Mississippi River bass. It's going to be mainly a largemouth producer for me. The first way I'm going to show you is just with a standard screw lock frog hook. Now you can see how I've rigged that up so it's going to be totally weedless. It's a heavy enough bait and it's got a nice keel on it, so I can put this in any kind of slop, lily pads, emergent vegetation, and that bait's going to excel just burning it across the top just like you would with a horny toad or any kind of soft body frog lure. The next way I'm going to rig that is on a swim jig. Now this is a Dirty Jigs Tackle 1/2 ounce no jack swim jig in Alabama craw. You can see there that's a very large profile bait. When I put that Eliminator on there, it really bulks it up. It's going to move a lot of water. I'm going to swim this through heavy lily pads, just basically any type of heavy vegetation that I want that thing to come through. It's going to displace a lot of water and you'll see those fish wake over to grab it. It's already been an awesome producer for me. And the third and final way that I want to show you how to rig this bait is on a buzz bait. Now this is probably going to be my favorite way to fish the Eliminator because of that keel that we're talking about on the bottom of this bait. When I rig this on a Dirty Jigs Canterbury Pro Buzz like that, it's got that patented keeper system that's going to keep that bait on there. That keel is going to enable you to skip that bait under overhanging bushes, docks, any kind of cover that you want to get under with that buzz bait. You can't get into that stuff with a regular skirted buzz bait, but you put that Eliminator on there and it's going to get a lot of bites. It's going to get you into places that you've never had a buzz bait before. So check it out. This green pumpkin color is going to be absolutely killer on the Mississippi, and I can't wait to get this thing around some rocks, laydowns, bushes, anywhere where we're finding a mayfly hatch or a lot of bluegills on the surface, cloud cover, wind, and an Eliminator on a Pro Buzz. It's going to crack them. Now here we've got the Dobbins D-Blade 3/8 ounce spinnerbait in shimmer shad color. I've got one rigged up here. I like to put a little swim bait on there. That's a big bite bait, swim and jerk minnow. And you see I've added a little bit of chartreuse. That's just going to give it some pop and give those fish something to key in on. But this is a really nice compact little spinnerbait that's going to be great to simulate the small bait fish that we have here in the Mississippi River right now. A white spinnerbait is an absolute classic player on the Mississippi River and other small rivers all across the country. But most people associate it with fall and the springtime in colder water conditions. But the misconception is that it only works at that time. It's going to work phenomenally here on the Mississippi anytime we get around isolated, submerged grass, riprap, laydowns. And the real key to it is, you see today we've got a really, really calm day. It's sunny, it's hot. These are not the most ideal spinnerbait conditions. But on a day when you get some chop, get a little wind, a little cloud cover, maybe some rain, that spinnerbait's really going to shine on those days. I don't know what it is, but something about having that surface being broken up by the conditions, it's going to really help those fish react to a moving bait such as this. On those sunny, hot days, we're going to slow down and pick them apart with the Texas rig plastics and stuff like that, or get into the thick stuff with the frog. But this is going to be a great, great bait for covering water until we can get a couple bites, and then we'll slow down and pick it apart with some of the other selections that we've got in the box this week. This bait here is the Booyah Prank. It's a hybrid popper and jerk bait type lure. So it's a topwater bait, but when you twitch it, it's got this little bill here right in front of the lip, and that's going to bring that bait subsurface. So you get that nice popping, loud spitting action that you're looking for, and then it's going to go underneath the water. Those fish are going to get a better look at it. It's going to help them commit to the bait a lot more. This is going to be a Mississippi River smallmouth killer. I'm going to work this bait around any kind of main channel and back channel riprap. Little sand drops, and along wood too. It's going to really excel in the fall on wood. But today you're going to see me working this bait on riprap. I'm rigging it up on a 7-foot Daiwa Steez spinning rod, Daiwa Tatula reel, and I'm using braided line. This is 15-pound Sunline SX1 braid to an 8-pound Sunline fluorocarbon leader material. Now you might ask, why are you using fluorocarbon? It sinks, it's a topwater bait, but that fluorocarbon is very invisible, and with just a short 36-inch leader, it's not going to affect the action of my bait at all. So that is why I use it. With the braid combination, I can get great hookups on long casts and get those fish in the boat. Like I said, this is a smaller bait, chartreuse bone color. That's why I'm using it on a spinning rod, so I can get those longer casts, control the bait a lot better, and ease into those hook sets and bring those big smallmouth into the boat. So check it out, Booyah Prank. It's It's gonna be an awesome, awesome summertime smallmouth bait on any river system, but especially right here in my homeland on the Mississippi River. Man, what a day. Mississippi River never disappoints. You know, today we got a lot of bites, put some nice fish in the boat. Unfortunately lost a couple that would have helped us, but that's fishing, you know. I had a lot of fun out here. It's always a great time to be out on the Mississippi River in my backyard doing what I love to do. But I'm telling you what, I think I learned a little something today about what's going on out here. You need to be throwing that frog. I got a good clue. I think the next show, stay tuned, we're gonna be doing some frog tips. I'm really looking forward to this one. We're gonna catch a bunch of fish on a bunch of different types of frogs. I can't wait to showcase these mystery tackle box frogs. We're gonna catch some giant bass. So, thanks again for watching. I'm out. Once again, I'm Cade Laufenberg. Follow me on all my social media, and I'll be right back at you here at Mystery Tackle Box YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.